but still have it from last week. But I'm gonna, play through it as I did last week. Let's see where the guys are. Here we go. There we go. Urban Guardian with Gray. I see you. I'm inviting you on. And there you go. Let's see where the chocolate botanist is. Hey, Gray, what's up, man?
I'm doing well. How's it going, my brother?
Good, good, good. I got a little cough still from last week, but I'm working through it. So,
See, I sent you that call from Dallas. See, because mine is still lingering too, so I sent it to you airmail.
I appreciate it. That's what I wanted. One of my Christmas wishes was a cough. All right, where is Derek? Where is the chocolate botanist?
Where is Derek? The host with the most, right?
There
he is. Boom.
What's going on, brother? How you doing? I'm gonna be coughing tonight. I should have took a cough drop before I got on here, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're working with what we got. So, are you guys getting frozen out right now?
No.
How cold? How cold is it?
No trench coat too? The funny thing is, yesterday it got to like 29 degrees. So yeah, it was cold. I mean, dude, I was doing like a mad dash. I literally spent my whole entire day Sunday bringing in plants. I'm not sure if you guys can see back here, but yeah, we've got a lot of plants in here. We're full jungle mode in the plant room right now. But the funny thing about Dallas, see, even though we get hit with the hard cold, this weekend it's going to be 80 degrees. Yeah. So such is life.
Derek, you remind me of like Shannon Sharp. Like, you ever watch this show where he has all these old country analogies that ultimately don't go anywhere. They're just like, they don't. Grandma said, "Don't wash a honeybee on your knee in the rain."
It is. I mean, because I remember the first time, I met my wife. She's from California, and I was like, "Oh, that dog don't hunt." And she was like, "What? What does that even mean?" I was like, "I mean, it ain't gonna work. That dog don't hunt." And she was like, "Oh, I love that."
Well, that one kind of makes sense. Like, I get that one, but some of them are just outrageous. Like, they're just like, I'm like, you really got to stretch to make some of those things work.
Okay, I got another one for you. When somebody that made you mad and you don't want to have anything to do with them, you say, "Oh, they didn't tell they draws with me." Until they draws.
Wait, what? Is it like farting in a cemetery? Like, what is that? Like, listen, I feel like you had it at Graveyard. Like, why would you make it a dead man's museum? It's like so many more words to make it so less clear.
Yeah. we have a thing for the theatrics out here in the South. Everything's just a little bit slower, so even that conversation gonna be just a little bit slower because we got to elaborate.
Well, I'm south of both of you guys, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Pause. Florida is not the South.
Right. At least not Central and South Florida. North Florida is the South. Trust me. No, North Florida is basically South Alabama. St. Pete is Central. St. Pete is not North Florida. St. Pete is. No.
Not an apologist.
All right. Well, it's cold here too. It is 37 degrees this morning when I woke up, which for Florida is unpleasant at best. I only covered one thing. I moved one potted plant and I took it from where it was and I put it on the patio behind some stuff there to just give it some shelter. And that was my Golden Queen mango. It's in a pot. It's brand new, and I do not want to risk losing that. That is the second last mango tree that I will ever get.
You say that, but next season you're gonna be like, okay. I got a no, not a Shangri-La. What is Maha Chinook?
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't turn down on Maha Chinook, but I'm not seeking any more trees right at this point. There's already too many trees here. We're going to be moving a whole bunch of other property, and so it's a whole thing. Every plate is great. Said my mom used to say, "Don't become friends with people you live around or work with." It's a good servant, but a bad master.
I like that one.
I disagree with that. You know, as a person with no friends in this neighborhood whatsoever, I would say, despite that, I think you should always be looking to make friends with every person you come in contact with, because likability is the most underrated quality that you can have in life.
Because your left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Because when it goes sour, you see them more and it becomes uncomfortable. Well, I don't know. I think it's probably more. Well, if you're friends with somebody, why would it ever become uncomfortable? I don't know. I feel like maybe some friendships are more volatile than others, but none of my friendships ever become uncomfortable. Like none of them have ever had an uncomfortable friendship.
Well, I'll say this, okay? Because let's face it, in our professional lives, we might be living two different lives, right? At work, we're one way, but then when we're out and about in the streets or at home, we might be a different way. And sometimes pulling back that veil might show people the real you, and they might not be ready for the real you, because work might only know representative you, because representative Gray is like the best person in the world, but Gray at home Gray might have some traits that everybody might not like. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm the same both.
Full circle.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a post that I had to delete this week, and I rarely delete posts because I kind of like controversy. I went hunting this weekend in Georgia, and I was bow hunting, so I was not able to get a deer within 20 yards. I did not get a deer, But my buddy, who's relatively new to hunting, he's only got one deer in his life. He got 2 deer, and he got his first buck, and he was rifle hunting, right? So I was, impressed by that. I thought it was great for him. We got all the meat. We took the meat home and everything like that. So I posted a little congratulatory thing for him with a couple pictures on Instagram. People lost their minds.
What?
Because there was a deer that was dead in the picture. Right. There are more deer in the United States now than they were when the first Europeans came here.
Wow. But the interesting thing is I saw that post and it was a good buck. What was it, about a 6 or 8 pointer, right?
Yeah, it was about, I think it was a 7, I think, but it was a solid buck.
Yeah, it was a solid buck.
For a first buck, yeah.
Right, and no.
He's holding the antlers or whatever. People were
clean
bananas. That's true. I had a video where I gave a hack on getting less mosquitoes in your backyard, basically by just having your water buckets when it rains stay out there for a week so that mosquitoes can lay eggs in them, and then you dump it and you wipe out a generation of mosquitoes. Yeah. Literally, someone was saying, I am depriving the ecosystem of food, and I am, killing bats because they won't have mosquitoes to eat. And I'm like, really? Like, I've never met a pro mosquito advocate. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to end mosquitoes in my backyard by dumping out some buckets of water.
Single-handedly, you are committing genocide.
Yes.
Genocide.
Yes. Wait, mosquitoes are extinct from Florida now. We've traced it back to one man.
Yeah. But I mean, I think this goes back to something we said, a while back. Sometimes people dig in way too deep, and the things that people sometimes choose to be their hill to die on, it's like, seriously, this is what we're going after right now. Right. Everything else going on in the world, this is what we're arguing about. And really?
Who wants more mosquitoes? I certainly don't want more mosquitoes.
Right.
That's why I use Sonia's bug spray. This stuff is all natural. It's amazing. This stuff, I use this thing all over the place. I just bought 3 bottles. This just came in the mail today. I bought 3 more bottles because I'm bringing 2 down to Mexico with me. This thing works on mosquitoes, flies, gnats, everything. And it smells like lotion. It feels like lotion. It's all natural. I love it. It's also a great afterbite. You can get on Amazon. No, not on Amazon. You get it on soniasbugspray.com and the TikTok shop.
And guess what? You don't have to commit mosquito genocide like Andre. You could just put on some Sonia's bug spray.
All right, guys, let's talk about plants. That's what all the people came here to talk about. So I know we all live in areas where we can grow relatively tropical things, but we do have cold spells. Some of us more than others. And, I'm sure the people out there are probably all going through cold spells. So what are some of the ways that we deal with these cold spells? I know I have a few little thingies that I do, but what do you guys do?
First thing I'm gonna say is just don't grow anything that doesn't grow in your zone. Don't be crazy like me and grow all of these tropical things because I'm trying to be like my big brother Andre. I'm like, man, I want some mangoes, I want some citrus, but yeah, no. I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's. I'm telling you guys, I was running Sunday, with banana trees in pots to get them to my garage.
How are you going to tell people not to do something and you're literally doing it?
Do as I say, don't do as I do. That's another Southern phrase.
I think that's an everywhere phrase. That's an everywhere phrase. But
no, I'm joking. I mean, let's face it. I love tropical. I mean, I have a pool. So I love my bananas, my pineapples. And I am determined to get a rack of bananas this year. So yes, I was putting my banana trees in the garage, trying to see if I can keep them alive so I can get at least one rack. But I mean, the fact of the nature is, for a short-term solution, covering. Covering is going to be your best avenue of approach. Now, I will say this about covering, though, okay? And I know Derek has some things he wants to say, but a lot of people first go to is plastic, right? Plastic is like a great immediate, like temporary solution, but you have to be careful with your plastic because when you're covering your plants with plastic, if the plastic is touching on the leaves, you can get a lot of condensation in there. And then when it's the warmer part of the day, as the sunlight is refracting through there, you can actually start to cook your leaves and you can create fungal issues too. So in the warmer parts of the day, maybe uncover them. But like if you get like a frost at night and it's going to drop down below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah, just put them over there real quick and that'll be a quick temporary solution. But just make sure you monitor.
Let me say something quick. But the problem also with plastic is it conducts all of the cold right through it. So if you're using plastic and it's touching the plants, your plants are still going to get burned. So if you're using plastic, it has to have some sort of, framework to keep it off of the plant and be more of a windbreak than anything else.
Right. Because it's not so much the temperature, it's that frost that we're trying to protect from, but you're absolutely right. If you don't have some kind of insulator, like that air being an insulator, that's what's going to keep that cold off of it. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, dude. Because a friend of ours, Bree, she's in Central Florida, and that's what she does. She goes to the thrift store and she gets old pillowcase, not pillowcases, but she also gets because she has a food forest, so she gets old sheets from the thrift store.
Testing. There we go.
So
Lord, that's
great
some
tech.
good stuff y'all could.
But I'm also glad you mentioned about the difference in some plants too, right? Because you guys know that I have that pink pineapple, that Mila pink pineapple. Interestingly enough, it is sold as an ornamental pineapple, meaning, it has those pretty leaves and everything, but it does fruit. And I love the pineapples off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I actually can leave it out in this Dallas weather and it can handle up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm.
But the thing about it is, I feel like it would stifle its ability to fruit by putting it in such extreme cold. So all 9 pineapple went into the greenhouse yesterday.
Okay. Someone asked, do pineapples need to be covered? I would say, like here in Central Florida, no. Pineapples are pretty hardy. And like you said, it can affect their fruiting, but they're not going to die from getting like a 32-degree night or something like that. But they can get leaf damage, and it could set them back in their fruiting. But speaking of pineapples, harvested this yesterday.
Ooh,
look at that.
Look at the top on this thing. And
I love it.
It's got a nice little give to it too. This is going to be delicious. I'm going to bring this to work tomorrow. We're going to cut it at the office tomorrow.
I love it because it has that to the side ponytail. like in the 80s. You know, the girls had the sideways ponytail.
It's this is a Dragon Ball Z pineapple here.
There you go.
Ooh. It's over 9,000.
Super Saiyan 5 right there or something.
Yes.
Am I growing the pink pineapple? The pink glow pineapple? Actually, yes. I have one plant that has managed to, one top that has managed to root. So I am growing a pink pineapple in my office. When it's that young, that's something that I would not leave outside because it's very tiny and it just sprouted up from the broken, because they cut the tops off and it sprouted up, and I'm growing that in my greenhouse right now. So
Yeah. And the pineapples I have are the Mila pink pineapples. They're not the same as the pink glow pineapple. Interesting enough, with those Mila pink pineapples, one of my friends is in Wisconsin and she grows them. But again, just as ornamental pineapples out in their yard. And they do perfectly fine out there.
Right. So someone asked, can we use Celsius? Can we all not use Celsius? Can we all not? Like, do you want us to use Celsius? Or
No,
not?
they're being sarcastic. Can we all not use Celsius? 0 means 0 versus talking 32. So I typically can go back and forth, but right now we're saying freezing. So
Right.
we know 32 is 0, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm Canadian, so I grew up with Celsius and I grew up with metric system, so I'm fine going either way on that. But maybe we'll convert our temperatures back and forth. We'll give you both numbers.
Because we do have a lot of European and Australian fans who watch it on the show, and I'm a mechanic, so I prefer metric system anyway. It's more efficient.
Yeah. But it's crazy though, like that the U.S. in this day and age just refuses to go.
Is it crazy for real? Think about what the U.S. is. Is it crazy, or does it just make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's every other nation. Like I was in elementary school when Canada switched to metric. Like I remember the switch, and they just did it. And they tried to do it in the U.S. and people were like, nah.
I can remember we learned both, and we seen that the rest of the world did it. We would ask the teachers why, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's because it's so hard, and this and that, and everything is used to this, and blah 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 blah." But it just makes no reason. We just choose to be different. America's that one kid that you just know is just difficult, and you just have to let them grow.
Right. And the funny thing is, like in science class, it's all metric. Like scientists aren't walking around talking about how many inches things are. Like.
Heck, even drug dealers are using the metric system. I mean, we got
grams. They using grams.
Of course.
Grams and kilos. We still on pounds. Like what?
Yeah, you don't buy pound bags. You buy ounce bags. You buy grams and dime bags. So we had one person.
A gram bag.
Yeah, you buy a dime bag. We had one person who asked us if carnivorous plants grow natively in the United States, and I am here to tell you yes. Because we have native plants that grow not just in America, not just in North Carolina, but down the street from some of the areas I lived in. So there's a couple of counties online. They will tell you it's just one county of North Carolina, but it's technically 2 at least, right? It's not really put out there, but I went to school for this. I knew people who did like research. So we've grown. What is that? Is that
a picture?
Yeah, this is my pitcher plant.
So that is the pitcher plant and the Penthes, but there's also the pitcher plants that are native to North Carolina, which are Sarracenia. The tropical ones are the Penthes, those hang down, right? And the ones that kind of grow up and they're open up are Sarracenia. We also have the fly traps, which are Drosera, and the sundews, which I cannot remember their genus right now. And there's other, I feel like there's other carnivorous ones I've seen and heard of, but we do have them here. It's nice. Beautiful.
But I feel like they are very high maintenance.
They're actually surprisingly low. You just put them in peat, plain peat. You water them. You put them in an area where insects can get near them. That's it. You don't need to fertilize them. For the pitcher plants that are the tropical ones, the Penthes, they just need to be in like tropical temperatures and high humid temperatures.
Right.
But the natives here, I could just leave them outside all year and they would be okay. As long as I don't fertilize them, that would be where the problem comes in.
All right. Maybe I'll get one. I just feel like I got to be on it. I've got to have the moisture right and have everything right and blah, blah, blah.
No, you just scared to come over to the ornamental world. That's all. No, we're nice over here, man. We're nice.
Yeah, we'll see. Someone said, Jay said, I will say I had 3 pineapple plants die last year in Jacksonville when they had a freeze 3 nights in a row. 3 nights. Because that's the other thing that we got to talk about is duration of cold, right? Like if it just dips down to 32 and then comes back up, not a big deal. But if it stays 32 for 8 hours, now you've got problems, right? So duration is a problem too. 3 nights in a row of freezing. Jacksonville's significantly north of me, so that could be damaging because a lot of my pineapples, it gets to 32, they'll get burnt on the edges and the tips. But other than that, they're perfectly fine. Yeah.
And that's Jen, by the way. That was Jen who had tick. Yeah, it's Jen. But yeah, like for instance, like with the moringa trees, right? So the moringas, I went ahead and brought those in last night because moringas are subtropical. So anything under 40 degrees, they would be KO'd for me. Because now, granted, out there in Florida where you guys are at, you could probably leave your moringas out even if you got down to 0 degrees, right?
Yes.
You got down to freezing.
Right.
But you're insulated with that humidity. See, it gets a lot drier up here, and that dry cold would kill them for me in Dallas.
Right. And also, once they're established, it's different too. Because once they're established, they can literally freeze down to the ground, and they will come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have either of you tried splitting the crowns in 4 method? I have tried splitting the crowns in 4. Like a homegrown pineapple, if you split this crown in 4, you can probably get 4 pineapple plants to grow. A store-bought pineapple is already in such rough shape most of the time that you try to split it in 4, you're just decreasing your odds of having success. Actually, I have 2 pineapples that I split a crown in 2, and actually they both have pineapples on them right now. That was a couple years back. I split them in 2, and I've done it in 4s as well. But I find your success rate in 4s is lower, and you have to have a really fresh top. Most people have enough trouble getting 1 to survive. When you split it in 4, you're just making it so much more difficult for yourself. And I have so many pineapple plants right now that I generally don't even plant tops that much anymore because I just don't even have places to put tops anymore after a while.
That's a flex there.
Well, go ahead.
No, I'm about to completely change the subject because when you were talking about the pineapple, it made me thinking about the best method of growing pineapple. Because a lot of people have those hacks and they're like, oh, stick it in some water. All it's going, you might be able to get it to root, but more than likely, all you're going to do is rot that thing out. If you let it dry out and put it in some soil, it will grow. It's just that easy. And a plant that I want to show you, this actually, and I gotta say who, I gotta flex a little bit. My buddy Paul from Epic Gardening sent this over for my son Gray Gray. He found out that my son Gray Gray wanted to grow dragon fruit, and look at one of the dragon fruit here.
Oh wow! What kind is that?
Beautiful.
This one is called a grape pop. Yeah. So he sent us 5 different varieties. So we just got them in some soil yesterday after I brought all the plants inside. No water. We just stuck them right down in the soil for about 1.5 inches and let them sit for like a 1.5 weeks or so before you introduce any water and very, very little water. But look how that twists up. So
that's a pretty cool. I've never seen one of those.
He is super excited. So yeah, Paul hooked us up.
Awesome. I've got 4 different types of dragon fruit back there, and I've gotten fruit from all of them, but I don't have any that are twisty like that. That's pretty cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Shane from Canada. I'm from Canada. I'm loving the conversation. I'm from Canada too. Let's see. So, so if you want to develop your roots really strong, what's something you would recommend using, Gray?
Well, something I love using for my fruits and vegetables and even my berries and my strawberries is Thrive Roots. This is another version of Thrive Roots, one of our show sponsor, and this is the berry formulation here. But I just want to say something before we go on and talk about Thrive Roots. I love this product. It smells amazing. It's wonders for it. It's a soil amendment and it's a root stimulator. It's great for your garden. But one thing I want to mention, Tiffany, the CEO and owner of Thrive Roots, just put a post out, and I told her I would mention it on the podcast. With everything that's going on in the United States right now, specifically in the state of Florida, Thrive Roots is doing a fundraiser where they are essentially, for every like that they get on their post over at Thrive Roots Squad, they are donating $5 to Feeding Florida to try to feed as many people as they can. And if you go to the over to their post and you tag a friend in it, up to 20 people can be awarded some free Thrive Roots. So definitely check out Thrive Roots Squad. If you don't want to, you can always go directly to thriveroots.com and purchase some of your own. But it's a great organization. I love the fact that they're helping trying to feed Floridians, and I love Thrive Roots.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I have mine, but mine is in Mexico. And actually, I'm out of it now in Mexico. I've got to get some more. I got to bring some more down there with me to help work with my plants down there, because it's hard to find really good soil enhancers in Mexico. Although the soil is very rich there already, but I feel like that little extra boost, I've seen the difference in my garden with that down there. So I really love that stuff. Someone mentioned, JP Traveler mentioned, the temperature in empirical is more granular than metric. Yeah, it's got more numbers to it, so you can whatever. You can just see, but you could also go with halves and stuff like that in metric as well.
Metric goes so big and so small, and metric is a straight 10 by 10. So like,
right.
It's
but
so
he's talking
easy.
about for degrees though. He's talking about for temperature though. That's the only thing.
Even in temperature, like it just makes more sense. Like 33 being like 90 degrees and 35 being 95. It's like, okay, that's great. 0, we're far away from 0 at this point. We're not going too far. 100 being boiling. It feels like I'm boiling right now at 35. Like, okay, this makes sense. But that's just me. I just want them. If I became president, that's all I'm going to do. We're going to the metric system, and then I'm immediately resigning.
Hey, that'd be a hell of a legacy right there. That'd be a hell of a legacy right there. That's awesome.
Nice.
But one of the other tricks that, there's ways that you can get around temperature too. Because I know you mentioned like growing stuff in your own zone that grow in your zone or whatever. But sometimes people like to push zones. Like I like to push zones, and I like to push and grow things that don't know that they're not supposed to be growing in this particular zone. Which just reminds me, I was supposed to wrap my coconut tree up. I didn't wrap the trunk of my coconut tree last night, but it dipped to 37 brief, not that long, so I think it'll be fine. Generally, if it gets under 40, I put a blanket around the trunk of my coconut tree because I'm outside the growing zone for coconuts. Yeah, but part of it too is plant placement. Like if you're planting things on the ground, where you place them is important because we all have microclimates on our property. We have points on our property that have wind breaks, or points on our property that are next to our house, or south-facing, or next to a heat sink, or next to the water. Like there's so many different microclimates you can have, and I have a bunch of microclimates here. I've had years where mango trees in my neighborhood have been killed by the cold, and my mango trees were untouched. I have a slope, which the hot air rises up the slope, coming from the lake, which is a bit of a heat sink. And then I've got a canopy of oak trees, which makes my trees grow slower, but it also creates a little mini greenhouse there as well. Planting stuff beside your house, sometimes your house can be a heat sink for your house as well. What's so funny?
I was thinking, and I was like, nobody's going to get that reference. I was going to ask you if you put some limes in your coconuts.
Enterprise. Love it. With
And
the
you said
lime
it. And you drink it all up.
Drink it on up.
Oh,
Yeah, I think.
But Andre, I'm glad you said that because that's what I experienced here in DFW. Because a lot of folks are saying like, oh, it only got to just above freezing in Dallas Fort Worth. It's not that serious. You're crazy, Gray. Why are you doing so much? But the thing about it is, in my microclimate, I have a creek. I have an expansive tree canopy with mesquite, oak trees, junipers, and so forth. So I lock in a lot of that cold. So I'm always typically about 7 degrees colder than most of the DFW. So it's great in the summertime, but in the winter, it can really kind of envelop that cold in here. So
Right.
tree placement, fruit, garden placement really does matter. And another thing is I'm going to say ground cover. So if you're doing fruit trees, right? Let's say you're doing a mango and you're one of those folks that like to push it to the limit, like Scarface, right? Push it to the limit, no problem with that. Put you some ground cover down by, right? By that root structure. Maybe plant you some strawberries or just something that can act as an insulative layer around that root system and maybe help it out a little bit. What do you guys think? What is something you might use for ground cover?
Well, also when you mentioned mulch, like I have a whole pile of chip drop mulch, and that is still hot. It's still breaking down. So that's something you can put around your trees, and that's going to provide heat to the roots and to the tree as well. So sometimes hot mulch can be an option. And when I say hot mulch, I mean mulch is just not broken down. So freshly ground up wood chips, wood parts.
I would do the same thing because that decomposition, I've seen some people heat up their greenhouses with compost piles and stuff like that. So I would do much of the same, like using that decomposition to not just prepare me for when it is warmer outside, but to keep my plants alive.
Ooh, you know what? You just made me think about that. We've talked about that before, but I never thought about that. I might get me like a nice trash can bin full of just chopped up wood mulch and start composting right in the center of my greenhouse and act as a heat sink.
Yep.
There we go. I like it.
Yeah, the people I've seen, they used like cattle paneling, so that way it was open all around, and then the heat would just boop, and they were able to get a nice temperature break.
The heat would do what? What would the heat do?
It would do whoop 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 whoop,
I love it. Nice.
Easton asks, we have a couple of olive trees growing, but the Texas yearly freeze normally kills a couple of them. Any recommendations for keeping them alive with health during the freezes? Like olive trees generally are fairly cold tolerant. I'm not sure if someone can just quickly Google what the cold tolerance is of an olive tree, but my olive trees are trees that I don't cover at all under any circumstances, and they don't like they kind of require a little bit of chill in order to be very productive the following season. But is anybody online?
Yeah, for the most part, most of your olive trees can go down to about almost 1915 or so. So they're fairly cold tolerant. So there might be some other underlying factors going on with your olive trees. And especially if you got those olive trees here, if you're in the Dallas area, mind telling us what nursery you got them from, because usually they're going to have things that's going to be well acclimated to the DFW area.
Yeah, and if it's stressed out, like that kind of changes that temperature range from where he was saying the 19, which is also like around 10-ish degrees Celsius, to a higher temperature, because when your plants are stressed out and you've planted them, it can be different.
Yeah, 19 is probably going to be closer to like -7 or something like that. Maybe
I'm
minus
sorry,
10.
negative 10. I can't read. It said a negative.
Okay. All right, I'm in New York City. Do I need to wrap my new fig trees? I would probably bring them in or bring them into a garage or something like that, especially if they're new.
Yeah,
brand new,
because
still
they're
bubble
new.
jacket on them.
Yeah. Let me see. Do you guys grow garlic? You guys grow garlic?
I
yeah.
do. I do.
Yeah.
This is actually being a real good year. I've not been watering them like I should because it's cold and I don't want to be outside. But once the temperature raises above 50 for a little bit, I'll go out there and water again.
Yeah, my garlic's in the fridge right now.
I got my garlic in the ground. I started my garlic a couple of weeks. It's already started sending out some new leaves and everything. Even after all of the pests that came and dug around, my garlic's still doing good. I was checking it on the other day and actually fertilized it the other day too, because with garlic, especially in the younger stages, you want to try to hit it with some nitrogen so that you can get, because every leaf that comes up from that garlic plant is going to create another wrap around that bulb that you've planted. But yeah, garlic is going good right now.
Oh, I got some bat guano here, some seabird guano. I'll definitely add that to my mix.
Nice.
Now, one of the other things that I do to keep things warm in winter is I have a little mini greenhouse,
Dude.
and it's not heated,
Uh-huh.
but it's a little mini glass greenhouse. It's like a 6x5 greenhouse. It's small, but I have my cacao tree in there because that is my baby right now. So I have that in there. And what I do sometimes is I will take dark colored 5-gallon buckets and fill them with water. And I will stack them up inside there. And they act as heat sinks during the day, which catch all that sunlight and heat. And at night, when it gets cooler, they're going to release all that heat into the greenhouse. And all you got to do sometimes is keep a space 1 or 2, 3 degrees warmer than the outside. And that's enough for your plant to survive versus die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you've been growing this cacao for how long now?
This particular one, only about 2 years now.
That's good. You know, I probably can't grow that here, can I?
Not outside.
Okay.
But it would make a great house plant.
So you could give me a cutting?
It doesn't really go from cuttings. You would probably have to air layer, but it's not big enough to air layer yet.
Well, once you air lay it and you do cut it, you would use your retain spray. We're still going to do this. The retain spray, because it cleans, it lubricates, it stops rust, and it sanitizes. Now, we're talking about keeping your house plants, your outdoor plants rather, protected from the weather, but there's no use of protecting them if they get somebody's fungal disease. So get you this today. I just used this on a live the other day. I made some cuttings of some house plants, and it is amazing. You can get this from Retain. Everyone in the comments, type retainsspray.com. You can also get it on the Amazon and the Walmarts. So get you some Retain today. So with that greenhouse you're talking about, tell me what it like. Is it one of those glass ones? Is it plastic? What is your greenhouse made of?
It is plastic. It's plastic. It's clear plastic. It came in a kit with like about 1 billion pieces. I remember putting together about 5 years ago. It was like a nightmare. But I got it all together. Built a little platform stand for it so it's level. And it's been great. It's lasted about 5 years. Got through all hurricanes. It's got through that pretty fine. So it's been really good. I really, really do like it. I think I got it on Wayfair or something like that.
Oh.
I remember.
Can I tell you about what just came in the mail for me today?
Sure.
Tell us.
All right, so we're talking about greenhouses, right?
Yes.
You know, most of you guys know that I built my own greenhouse out of reclaimed lumber and polycarbonate. But yesterday, I just got something that's very new to market. Like it just came to market, and I'm testing out this product. It is an inflatable greenhouse.
Ooh.
And I know what you're thinking, like a bouncy house? No, not a bouncy house. This thing is made with aerospace technology and is like the Cadillac of greenhouses. The 10 by 10. And you know, it's funny because this greenhouse, let's face it, North Carolina, Dallas, Florida, we don't need a greenhouse year round, right? In the summer, it's too hot to even use something like that.
Right.
But this one, it breaks down and comes up. So you can tear it down during the summer when it's too hot, put it in your garage, store it away, and then bring it out back when we get our winters and everything. So
Lord.
exclusively, Andre, I didn't tell you this, but exclusively on Thursday, my Better Gardener call. You know, Andre and I, we have a gardening community called Better Gardener. Exclusively on the Better Gardener call, I'm going to be walking our participants through the inflatable greenhouse. So if you're a member of Better Gardener, you will get first look at this inflatable greenhouse when I construct it. For everybody else, you'll have to check it out on YouTube when I drop the video next week.
All right, I'm going to have to jump on that call Thursday night.
I might have to try
call.
to jump on too. I might kick my tutoring student to the curb. She figures out this math. She got to figure this math out by herself. That sounds amazing.
So,
yeah, I'm super excited. The thing looks awesome.
Love it, love it. What's up? Who was that? Oh no,
Yeah.
George Vetter. He's watching for the first time, so welcome. JP Traveler said fans are popular in Napa. Does anyone use those? Like fans for the cold? Like are they fans that like blow heat, or I'm not sure what the fans would do. They just circulate the air somehow and make it less cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let us know what you mean because I'm wondering about this fan thing as well.
yeah. If you're talking about like hot water fans or something like that in a greenhouse, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But just like in general, like cold air blowing over a plant isn't going to be sustainable or healthy.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
but you know what? One thing we did mention when we were talking about covering plants, right? He said in the vineyards. That's what JP Travels said in the vineyards.
Yeah.
Yes, but again, what is this? Is it the fans just blowing down the vineyards? But when we were talking about covering plants, one thing that's actually really good to use, and a lot of the tree farms use, is burlap. If
Yeah.
you can use burlap because it's breathable material and it is actually very good, and it can be directly on the leaves, and you not have the biggest problem as you have with like your with your plastic.
Yeah.
So that's another alternative, burlap.
Definitely. Sonia's bug sprays here. She asked, how are my plants? My plants are doing fine. I don't know if you saw, I harvested this pineapple yesterday, but I also harvested, these are the last of my Namwa bananas here. They're kind of ratty looking, but they are so friggin' sweet and delicious. They're absolutely amazing. And we get star fruit pretty much year round. So these guys are all over the place. I usually bring one to work for lunch as a snack each day. But one other method that I know people use down here for keeping their gardens warm are smudge pots. And basically, they're just like those 55-gallon barrel drums, and they fill that up with wood or whatever, and they just light those things on fire and let them go through the night. I'll sometimes light my bonfire, my fire pit, and just make a big fire there and just let that simmer and let the air currents just sort of blow a little bit of warmish air around the garden a little bit. So that's something I know some people do, especially people that grow mangoes here in Orlando.
You know, another thing that works as well,
Is that
LED lights, like Christmas lights or those lawn lights. A lot of times you can use those as a layer, but I have to say it has to be incandescent. We're not talking about LEDs. LEDs are not going to generate enough heat. So say you have like a frost cloth over your raised bed, and if you put a little trail of Christmas lights in there, one, it's going to look awesome, you know, seeing that at night, but it's going to generate enough heat just to keep that that frost up off of them too. But it has to be incandescent.
right? They have to be old school lights that are very inefficient and produce a lot of heat.
But look,
Yeah.
and think about it like this too. You get to become Clark Griswold from I was about to say Nightmare Before Christmas. National Lampoon.
Yes.
You plug up all the lights.
Well, speaking of heat, if you're trying to get some heat in your food, Andre the Farmer's sweet and spicy pepper sauce. Right now on the website, we are doing buy two, get two free. We've never done that before. We're doing that until Thanksgiving in honor of our 1-year anniversary. This is the hot, it's the not so hot. It's all natural. You can get it at andrethefarmer.com. It's also available on Amazon, but we don't have the buy two, get two free on Amazon. But if you want to go to the website, andrethefarmer.com, it's amazing. I guarantee you're going to love it. Turns good
And
food great.
Congratulations on the 1 year, sir. Congratulations
Thank you.
for having your own product out there. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's get back to business. What other questions do we have up here? Wait, what? I think someone's asking you, Gray. That's Jen. Jen is asking if you got your mansion.
Oh yeah. She's talking about the greenhouse. I was telling her about it last week. Yeah, the greenhouse mansion. Yeah, I'm ready to go in that mansion. So you gonna see it Thursday, Jen? We going out in that mansion.
All right. It just stirs the air up to prevent the frost from forming. That's what the fans do.
Intriguing. I did a quickie Google, and apparently they used to use a lot of stuff and still do to protect those plants over there, including cannons.
Yeah. Have you guys been to Napa Valley?
No.
I've never had the pleasure. No, I've been to the Bay Area, but never as far as Napa.
I've been to Napa Valley, and one thing I learned from going on the wine tours and stuff is it's all a scam. It's all fake. It's all a scam. The whole thing is bogus. It's all fake. It's just
Elaborate. You have to tell us.
It's people pretending the whole friggin' time. Like it's like I've always suspected the whole wine tasting and the eliteness of it is just a big show to sell product, right? And going there, I was like, all my suspicions were confirmed. You know, have you ever had like wine made from something other than grapes?
I want to say yes. I've had fruit wine before, and yeah, I can't think of which one, but yes, I have.
Okay. And how was it?
That's fine. I mean, nothing to write home about, but it's fine. You know, it's
I'll tell you
sweet.
what. I'll tell you what. I've had fruit wines made by multiple different fruit, and every one of them has been delicious. They've been so good. And there's a reason why the whole wine industry makes you believe that you can only have real wine if it's made with grapes. And it can only be grapes that are grown in a certain place, right? Because if you've ever had like cherry wine or pear wine or banana wine, they're all absolutely delicious. Plum wine, they're all so good. They're better than grape wine. And the thing is, when you go to the wine tasting, they go like, oh, you can taste a hint of pear and chocolate and all kinds of things like that. There's none of that in there, right? But if it's so amazing when you can taste that, why wouldn't they just make it out of the pear?
Right. Yeah, I get it.
They have that option, but no, you can't keep it exclusive if you let everybody make wine. So,
Well, yeah.
so the only real wine is grape wine, and it has to come from real wine areas in order to be considered legit.
And you know, I've had that plum wine before because when you were talking about, I was like, I couldn't think of it at the time, but when you said plum wine, like, yes, and you're right, it is very delicious. But I mean, I don't know. I think I agree with you. I do agree with you that they're creating this exclusivity, right? I mean, because that's what the diamond industry did, right? The Bears, they cornered the market on all the diamond mines, right? And made you need to have this jewel that is utterly worthless unless you work in industrial capacity, right?
Yeah.
So I get your logic 100% about the wine. But then again, it could be taste. Now, see, I'm not like, the only real red wine that I like is like a Cabernet, like a Cabernet Sauvignon, you know? Anything else is like too dry for me. I don't really care for it. But again, remember, vegetarian. So I don't eat any red meats or anything. So I don't need anything to pair it with. So I'm going to always lean more closer to the sweeter wines. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other thing that's a little bit weird to me is the wine pairing thing, right? I have a buddy who will always tell me, oh, but if you have like red wine and then you have like this, it's going to change how it tastes and this and that and whatever. I'm like, dude, if you have a Diet Coke and then eat a piece of food, it's going to change how it tastes. Like anything that you drink in your mouth and then eat food is going to change how it tastes. Like that's not a magical quality. It's just how food and drinks work.
Oh my
That's
God!
how food and drink work.
No, not food and drink, nerd. Well, you know what?
That is very true. Wow.
Humble asked about muscadines. I do grow muscadines. Anybody else grow muscadine grapes?
I wish.
I don't have any muscadines. I have like 4 different varieties of grape, but I always forget what they are.
Because you can grow grapes, good grapes. We can only grow muscadines in Florida. Like that's about the best thing that grows here.
That's the best grape of muscadine.
I like muscadines.
Muscadines and scuppernongs. I love them.
What's your method for growing star fruit? I just basically grow the tree and leave it alone. I have 3 different varieties of star fruit. This is the Fwang Tung variety. I have the Sri Kembangan and the Arkin, and they are all very good. But this is by far the tastiest of all of them right here. The Fwang. This is the only one I really eat. The rest of them I just juice.
Juice. You do a lot of juicing over there, huh?
I don't really do that much. Like this year, probably the only thing I've juiced has been the star fruit, and it makes a really nice juice. Star fruit juice is you don't have to add anything to it. It's just really good. It's really.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. In the comments, our friend Enterprise says sad no meat. Sorry, yeah, I don't need any meat, but it said mulberry, strawberry, and huckleberry are favorite wines. Okay, now I don't know if you guys know this, but one of my favorite movies is Tombstone. So if I can have some huckleberry wine so I can walk up and be like,
I'll be a huckleberry.
Like, I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game. Yes,
I'll be
huckleberry wine. I need
I'll tell
some
you what.
mulberry wine.
My grandmother made wine when we were growing up, and I used to have to go collect the stuff for her wine. So she made wine on everything. We made mulberry wine because there were mulberry trees in the park. You know, blackberry wine, apple wine, like whatever I could forage, she was making wine with that thing.
I love it.
Someone said wine. DI to self said wine pairing is the thing. Well, yeah, of course. You can have like chips and soda pairing too, right? Like all those things we done. Sad no meat, boo, mulberry straw. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a meat guy. Man, they're so expensive in the grocery store. Oh, star fruits, they are expensive. And I tell you, when you grow them, if you live in a tropical area, like they never stop producing. Like literally, like I eat half the star fruits that my tree produces. The rest fall on the ground and probably rot under the tree. Do they have pomegranate trees? I do have two pomegranate trees, but they don't produce very well for me here. I'm not sure if they're good varieties. I got one from a friend of mine's backyard, and it was his least favorite of his pomegranate trees, and I know why, because it doesn't flower.
Somebody said Boone's Farm wine. Like, ooh, you went old school with the Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm apple wine. All right, I'm sure it's good. If it's not a grape wine, it's probably going to be good. Wait, I just waved at somebody. I didn't mean to wave at whoever Chirp and Charm Shop. I didn't mean to wave at you. Let me see. Ew, throw up. How's your soursop? The soursop is flowering for the first time ever, but I don't think it's going to set any fruit this time, especially this time of year, and especially after this weather that we just had, because they're super cold sensitive. Yes, you can keep them in pots. They can grow in pots, and they can fruit and flower in pots as well. We are getting short on time. Any other tips and tricks for people keeping their plants warm this time of year? I think we went through a lot.
We actually did cover a lot. What do you say, Derek?
I think we covered everything, to be honest, short of like using space heaters and putting everything in a garage and stuff like that. Like you either bring them in, you cover them in some way, shape, or form, or you just bug it out and hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what I did. I've completely taken over my indoor house, and my wife has gotten so used to it by now. There's just every inch of this house is just covered in plants. It's the jungle now. It makes me wonder how I keep them going under.
Like a joke.
There's one more thing this is like drastic last measure for keeping your plants from dying in super cold. And one of the things that they do in Florida, if there's going to be a hard frost, is water everything. Because if the plants have more moisture in them, they can be more resistant to the cold. And sometimes they can form a layer of ice over themselves that actually protects the trees from going no lower than 32 degrees or 0 degrees. They just can't get beyond that because the ice actually is an insulator for the plant at certain points.
Yeah, and somebody said build a bunker greenhouse. I think what they're referring to, enterprise. They're talking about what's the wallapini. When you dig down into the ground, you make a wallapini because the core temperature of the earth is always about 50 some odd degrees or so, and it acts as a frost insulator. So yeah, I've been thinking about wallapinis because I actually have the space to do it. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because I have to ask my wife's permission to dig a big hole.
All right. We have Barnes Cartoon wants to know, who are you guys? All right, you guys want to introduce yourselves quickly? I'm Andre the Farmer, and I grow food. I teach people how to grow food.
I'm Urban Gardening with Gray. Name is Graylin Brown. I am a master gardener out of Dallas, Texas. I teach you how to grow anything I can get my hands on.
I am the chocolate botanist. I'm a botanist made of chocolate.
Yes. That is fantastic.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys next week. You can catch the whole replay on Instagram, my Instagram, Dee's Instagram. You can also catch it on our YouTubes as well. All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back here next Tuesday night. All right, see you guys. I'll make a hottie toddy. All right, see ya. Okay.